Hi there, just going to do a quick video on how to replace a headset on a road bike. This one is a bike with an internal headset, so basically use these little bearings here. These particular one are 45-45, which basically relates to the angle on the outside there and also the angle on the inside there. Okay, really simple. You just take the old bearings out and put these ones in, but I'll just run you through a quick how-to. Lucy's bike. It's a pretty old Villiers Escape. She loves it to pieces, and it's done well. But just, like all winter bikes, it's been neglected over the summer. And last time she rode it, obviously in the wet, and she's been chucked in the garage, and it's done nothing since then. And the headset is completely stiff, absolutely shot. So what I'm going to do today, let's pop out these bearings in here, freeze them up, put some new ones in. That's straightforward, I'll show you how it's done. Okay, first thing you need to do, take the front wheel out. So undo the brake quick release lever thing there, just give it more space on the actual tyre. Take the wheel out. I'm going to take the fork out. The brake's going to be attached, so I'll take the brake off as well. So I need a 5mm Allen key for that. Got to be careful when you're taking these bolts out because they get all the crap from the road, tend to rust, so and fill it with mud as well. So as you put the Allen key in, you might think it's actually in the hole, but it's not. So just make sure you get a good purchase in there before you actually start to wind the bolt out. Otherwise you might end up rounding the bolt off, which is not good. Okie doke. I'll leave the bolt in there because it's pretty much held in by a lot of mud. Next thing you need to do is undo the stem bolts. Do them one bolt by half a turn and then one by half a turn and work your way, one after another. If you do one bolt all at once, then you'll put a lot of pressure on the opposing bolt or the other bolt, and what happens there is the pressure increases, and also you put a lot of stress on the actual bolt itself and the threads of the stem. So bear that in mind. That's loose. Take another 5mm Allen key and do the headset pinch bolt at the top. Take that out, like so. And slowly dismantle the headset. And straight away, you can see all that crap. Oh my god! It's a lot of rust and some mud and what have you in there. Okay, next up, let's get the fork out. This one pulled out nice and simple, nice and easy, which I'm actually surprised by. But you'll see at the top. I'll show you. This little if you zoom in, man. Right, see at the top here, got a little split ring. Sometimes they can actually weld themselves or seize onto the actual steer tube itself, or the actual pressure that's being exerted onto the top here. You can actually just trap it in place so it won't really come out. So you can use like a soft blow hammer and just bang the top of this steer tube, and it can help drift it through. But a lot of time that actually increases the pressure on this area. So if that happens to you, just get a little screwdriver, put it under this part here, in between the actual little ring, and just wiggle it a little bit just to prise it up slightly, and that will release the pressure and the steer tube will fall through. Okay, so you can see all the state of this race. This is known as the bottom race or the lower race. That's what the bearing sits on, and it's full of crap. So I'm going to clean that up, and I'm also going to clean up all the rest of the parts of this upper race. This is the old bearings. So to take the bearing out, you should just lift up, but not in this case because it's fucking rusted in. So I'm going to persuade it to come out with a screwdriver. I'm just going to place it under the actual bearing itself. So I'll do one hand and a camera in the other. We basically try and flip it up. There you go, up it comes. Sometimes they can actually seize themselves in here and you can't get them out. If that's the case, get a punch or a screwdriver or something, put it from the bottom upwards. You make sure you get a purchase on the bearing itself. Somehow it overlaps and you don't want to end up put it onto the frame and banging the frame apart. So just make sure you actually hit the bearing, bang it up with a hammer, and that should take it out. But like with the rest of the bike, I'm going to clean all this area up here. Just make it nice. There's a nice smooth contact patch for the new bearings. Okay. So I've cleaned that up as much as I can, or best as I can, and I've also done the bottom part. Clean up the upper race, the one with the split in it that clamps to the steer tube. I've cleaned and polished the lower race too, and I forgot to mention earlier, although I said these are 45/45, they are actually an 1.1/8" headset bearing, and you can get these in 36/45, 36/36. So always check your bearings before you order them, or just know which one is the right one. These are for an internal headset, not an integrated headset. So an internal headset is basically like this. So the actual bearing surface itself is machined into the frame, so it's part of the bike. So it's a lot easier for it to replace. The integral headsets, they're actually cups that push into the frame. So this would be like a straight tube, and you have a cup that sits in and basically has that angle machined into it, and the bearing sits inside there. So both are almost identical, apart from if this gets damaged, the frame is fucked basically. Whereas if an integral headset gets damaged, you can obviously pop it out and put a new one in. So it's worth making sure you get the right thing for the job. Okay, so let's put this bad boy back together. Just going to grease this surface, grease the bearings, assemble it, and tighten her up. So, going to get my bearing, put a bit of grease on there, lube it around. This isn't doing anything. It has nothing to do with the lubrication of the bearings. I'm just lubricating the actual bearing itself, not the ball bearings, the bearing itself, just to basically give it something to sit against, so it's not going to stick to the frame, stop it from seizing. It can prevent creaking. Some people do say you shouldn't grease them because it attracts dirt. If you get dust around there, it can get into the actual seal and so on. But I've been doing this for a minimum professionally for about 10 years, but I've been servicing bikes since I was a fucking kid. I've tried both techniques, and I always find that the greased one works out best. So bottom one all greased, put that onto the lower race, the mudguard back through, assemble the fork. So I've got a bearing on the top there, so the next thing I need is the upper race. That's the one with the split in. That slides down there. And then you need the top cap part, or the compression wash ring, or whatever you want to call it. That sits in there. That's roughly assembled. So now we just need the headset spacers. They go on like so. And then your stem. Okay, so once you've got all that together, you put on your top cap. And one thing I see this a lot with people, if they've got a loose headset, they don't address the problem. They just tighten up the top cap, and the headset stays loose. They keep tightening up and tightening up, and it's not meant to be that tight. It's only a pinch it should be. So never ever tighten this. And if you find you ever tighten it, or you keep having to tighten it, look at either the star washer that's inside, or the compression nut that sits inside the fork. Sometimes they slide up. So what happens is, as it slides up, it hits the top cap, and then you're just tightening the bolt onto the top cap. You're not actually compressing the whole fork assembly together. So all this is designed to do is take out the play in the bearings. Just tighten it up. How we have a little pressure I'm putting. No, there's no play in the headset there. It's nice and smooth. And then what holds the headset together, stops it from moving, are these bolts here. So not only do they stop your bars from turning, they also play a role in keeping the whole headset together as well. So that's roughly straight. I'll do for now. I'll sort that out later. And then it's just a matter of tightening these bolts up. Always check as well with your stems that you tie them up to the manufacturer's torque. In this case 5.5 newtons I believe. Wow, look at that. So yeah, and that's it. I'm not tying these up to the torque just yet, it's just to show you how it's done. I'm going to put the front wheel on now, give it a bike a wash, and I'll set the headset up and get the stem in line with the wheel, and she's good to go. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like or subscribe below. Comments, criticisms, whatever you want at the bottom. Videos you want me to put up, even something like that. Yeah, like and share, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.